I'm super excited to see so many brave faces here, and I just wanted to spend a couple minutes calling on us all to mobilize those maybe that feel not so brave right now. The Trump administration has politicized everything. We see all across the country people that might be aligned with everyone right here, but fearful of speaking out. We've got moderate Democrats, moderate Republicans, the huge number of Americans that consider themselves politically independent, scared to speak up. Moderate and reasonable people who will no longer say reasonable things. They won't say things like, I believe in the First Amendment and I oppose the Trump administration using scare tactics to suppress speech for anyone that believes in equity. We're seeing people terrified to even post on social media that they believe in the rule of law, that they think the executive branch should implement policies passed by the legislative branch. We see that people are scared to even say that they believe in an independent judiciary. These are not left-wing ideas. They're not extreme ideas. They're basic tenets of a democratic system that Jefferson and the Founding Fathers laid out. The terms tyranny and authoritarianism sound extreme, and many in the middle are hesitant to evoke them now. But what we are seeing from Trump is increasingly authoritarianism, and it should scare all of us. He's suppressing members of his own party, reasonable Republicans that are simply trying to stand up for their constituents, and he's threatening to destroy their careers if they don't blindly follow along and support anything he wants. This should terrify the middle, and this should mobilize the middle. And so I'm here to speak up for the middle today, to encourage all of you to talk to that aunt, to talk to your colleague, to talk to those friends that are scared to speak up. The fact that people are scared to speak up says there's a major, major problem. We need the moderate Americans everywhere to say we don't believe that the president should use his campaign finance troughs to silence the opposition in his own party. And we need moderate members of this university community to speak up and say that we don't think that the Trump administration should use scare tactics and intimidation tactics to suppress academic independence. There are tens of millions of Americans that think what is going on is not okay. But we need millions of us speaking in unison if we're going to make sure that they're not going to attempt to silence us through threats of job terminations like they did to President Ryan. We need to make sure they don't try to silence us with threats of terminating critical research funding as they've been doing here at UVA. We need to make sure that they don't silence us with threats of deportation and withheld visas and threats of political violence by their fringe extreme. So I call on all of you today to mobilize your friends and family members that maybe weren't brave enough to come out. We need to make sure that everyone is speaking up so that we can still do that next year. Thanks.